What counts as an Easter egg? Because the term nowadays has a whole different meaning. The main quests of modern zombie maps aren't what you would call Easter eggs or hidden, when they're outwardly advertised as selling points and even have in-map guides on what to do next. No, back in the day, gosh, just saying that makes me feel old, but back in the day, the Easter eggs were Easter eggs. They were convoluted, hard to find, and hard to figure out. But the question is, what counts as one? Because most would say that BO1's Ascension was the first map to have an Easter egg, with specific steps that trigger unique dialogue and provides you with a reward. But what separates an Easter egg from a side quest? And what counts as one? Because there's a debate on if the Flytrap Easter egg really is the first Easter egg or not. I mean, it requires you to have a packed weapon, use it, and perform tasks to get unique dialogue. Should this count? If we're going off of zombie records, they don't count this as an Easter egg, just a side quest. But this leads me into the main question I have for this video. Most of you who've played Vanguard know of the super short and really easy main quest on Terra Maledicta. An egg so short and slapdash it could be barely even called one, and can be completed in a little over 20 minutes. However, it does give unique dialogue and has assets specifically made for it, so it counts. But the question I ask is, does Duranfang's quest count as an Easter egg? Because believe it or not, it does have one. It was added later after launch, but it is there. It has unique dialogue, things you have to interact with, and even changes the map. So let's analyze this a tad closer. You first have to clear the barriers that lay between the spawn and the one Craft is trapped in. Once here, you gain access to the Void Portal, a pseudo-round-based objective. Once you survive 3 rounds here and escape, you're treated to a unique cutscene that you only get by doing this void for the first time. Now, when this was added to the map, many thought that was it. Lots wrote this off as nothing more than some unnecessary window dressing, but did you know there's actually more to this? After you escape, you can go and interact with Craft behind the door, where him and the other Dark Aether demons discuss what you saw in the void. It's here that Nordicus will give you instructions to go find a speaking stone in the apartments for a secret conversation. You'll have to clear the barriers that lead over to it, of course, but once you do, you'll get some actually very interesting dialogue that hints on one of the allies you'll be meeting in the next few maps.
As a matter of fact, Victor, a shield is exactly what I propose.
And after that, Craft will call you back to see something has happened. A green portal has emerged, and it's revealed that Vercana, the healing aura Dark Aether entity you meet on Terra Maledicta, has answered your calls for help. And they even make mention on how she has to construct her artifact before she can interact with her human host.
But who among us has more reason to hate Cortifex? Her entire clan, hunted down by his assassins, their sacred forests reduced to ash. She still needs to complete her artifact, or she would have joined us by now. All we can do is wait.
As surprisingly interesting as all this world building and setting up the next map is, this is where this short quest ends. And here we're left with the question, does this count? I mean, you get specific dialogue for the quest, a cutscene, and the map even has a visual change made to it in the form of a portal that takes us to the desert. It may be the loosest form of what an egg is, but I still think at how much story significance it has, that this can't just be called a side quest. It may not mean much to anyone, but I think that this should be considered for an actual Easter egg for Zombie Records. I don't know what you'd signify the end, maybe when you either see the green portal or when the last bit of special dialogue ends, but I just think it's an interesting thing to ponder. What do you guys think? Should this even count, or am I just some crazy person thinking way too much about Van Gogh again?